Hello everyone, welcome to OBN. I'm Anukali with the news. Now the headlines includes, of course, President Dr. Mulad Teshome of Ethiopia met Danish Premier to discuss bilateral development cooperation. On the death of Jamal Khashoggi, Trump not satisfied with Saudi account. Now the news in details. President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Dr. Mulad Teshome, on Saturday held talks in Copenhagen with Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen on bilateral development cooperation. During the talks, President Dr. Mulad said Ethiopia highly values its strategic partnership with Denmark. He thanked the Danish government for the support it has been providing for Ethiopia's poverty reduction, climate change, culture, and other development programs. The President urged the Prime Minister to encourage investors from his country to invest in Ethiopia to enhance and consolidate the investment and trade ties between the two nations. According to the President, the two countries have been contributing their shares in the efforts to address climate change, which is a global threat. Ethiopia will continue contributing its shares, the President said. Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen said his country will do a lot to strengthen its relations with Ethiopia. He said a high-level Danish government officials will visit Ethiopia soon to boost the relations between the two countries. The Prime Minister further said it is the interest of his government to see more Danish investors in Ethiopia. FEBC website reported. Athlete Faisal Elisa, the Rio silver medalist, has come back home after 2 years or so in exile. Almost 2 years after his protest of oppression in his country led him to go into exile, Ethiopian marathoner Faisal Elisa has been hailed as a hero of his people. In the wake of the election of reformist Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Faisal Elisa, who crossed his forearms over his head after winning the silver medal at that Olympics, rebelled against the previous government in 2015, has been living in self-imposed exile in the United States of America since 2016 and was joined by his family the following year. He called on the Oromo people to further strengthen their unity today after his arrival. The Tatouris has more.
Athlete Faisal Elisa has protested against the previous regime, crossing his forearms over his head at Rio Olympic of 2016. He made this to show to the world the violation of human rights by the government. Due to this, he remained in exile till his return to home country. It was to be recalled that many political parties based abroad have come back to their country following the call made by Ethiopian government intending to widen political sphere. Following the reform in the country and change of political situation, Athlete Faisal Elisa has returned to his homeland. Upon his arrival at Bole International Airport, the athlete has accorded hero welcome by senior government officials, families and friends. He said that he is very happy to see this day. Faisal stressed the importance of unity for Oromo people at any time. Athlete Faisal told OBN that he would continue to participate in the sports competition held both at national and global level. His mother and father told OBN that they are very delighted to get reunited with their son.
I never thought this, thanks to my God. He helped me to rejoin my son.
My son did a great job. I thank my God that he reunited me.
Senior government officials, including Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Workneh Gabayo and Minister of Finance and Economy Ahmed Shide, have welcomed the athlete. Ethiopian Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Workneh Gabayo on the event has hailed the role of athlete Faisal in the Oromo struggle. Dr. Workneh pointed out that he expects more from him to perform a wonderful job in his profession.
He played his role in the Oromo struggle to address the problem in the country. We are all happy over his return. This is historic. Wherever the Oromo live, what is needed is to achieve victory, getting united.
President of the Ethiopian Olympics Committee, Dr. Ashabri Wolde-Giyorgis, has admired the eagerness and heroism of athlete Faisal Elisa. He noted that the Ethiopian Olympics Committee is ready to work with the athlete on the competition to be held in the future.
Mixing politics with sport is very difficult, but the decision he made without fearing the risk that he may face is an implication for his internal strength. In the future, our plan is to get ready for Japan Olympic, welcoming him.
Executive Director of Oromo Media Network, who is also political analyst Jor Muhammad and human rights activist Garasu Tufa, applauded the contribution of athlete Faisal Elisa in the Oromo struggle. They also noted that he has to contribute his share for his people.
Our athletes should focus on their professional and unique talent. They should win worldwide competition with their talent.
Director General of OBN, Mohammed Adamo, has also welcomed Faisal Elisa, the hero. Of course, at that time, 2016, when time was counting down, when it were around the line of the crossing line, people were, thinking that he would be won by that American, the third. But he won the second, and he showed that symbol of Oromo protest, and that made him hero. Then went to America, and after 2 years, came back home. And we say, welcome back. Youth of Bole subsidy of Infinite City discussed ways of strengthening the relationship between nations, nationalities, and peoples of the country, and ways of ensuring peace in the nation. Forgot Burhan of the story.
Youth of Bole Sub-City and Funfune City have discussed ways of strengthening love and unity among nations, nationalities and peoples of the country at Oromo Cultural Hall. Some participants of the discussion said they are ready to play their level best to safeguard the peace of the country.
I'm ready to play my level best in uniting the nations through awareing about our culture and values.
Research papers have also been presented on the relationship of Oromo and Somali people and discussed. According to the research, two people have strong, long-standing socio-economic and political relationship. The papers showed that Oromo and Somali people have their own conflict resolution methods, and the current generations should sustain it. Administrator of Bole Sub-City Administration, Tlaun Fakad, noted that the youth are playing a great role to sustain the philosophy of synergy, which is started by Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, adding that his subsidy administration is ready to stand beside the youth.
The starting point of our Prime Minister is very important for our country and as well as for Africa. The youth should also play your share to sustain it.
Head of the Somali Region Youth and Sport Affairs Bureau, Hassan Fra, and head of the Oromia Women, Youth and Children Affairs Bureau, Muna Ahmed, for their part underscored that the joint meeting can play enormous role to strengthen the relationship of the two regional states. They added that they will work to expand the experiences in other parts of the country. Acting Vice Mayor of Funfune City, Engineer Sanai Damto, said that the meeting can play a great role to strengthen the relationship of the two regions and to bring sustainable peace and stability in the country. Everybody has a right of living in a peaceful manner and has an obligation to keep peace. Everybody has also a right of loving and living together. We should fight in unison against individuals or groups which work against this. Coordinator of the meeting emphasized that they are ready to help students who are assigned to Jijjiga University in all aspects.
We have also condolence news. Oromo cultural song legend Legessa Abdi died at the age of 80. Legessa Abdi was born in North Shore zone of Oromia State. He started song when he joined the Imperial Army during the reign of Emperor Haile Selassie I. He sang many songs in Afan Oromo in those difficult times, which of course made him hero of his people. His family confirmed to OBN that he passed away at his home. Legessa Abdi plays a traditional music and instrument called timbo or masinko, which he mastered. He is survived by four sons and 2 daughters. OBN wishes strength to his family and all his fans. Welcome back. Now to the news from the Middle East and the States. United States President Donald Trump says he's caught not satisfied with Saudi Arabia's account of the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. On Friday, Saudi Arabia for the first time admitted that Khashoggi was dead, saying he was killed in a fist fight in its Istanbul consulate. Turkish officials believe Mr. Khashoggi, a critic of the Saudi government, was murdered and his body dismembered. Until Friday, Saudi Arabia had denied knowledge of his whereabouts and insisted he had left the building alive. Turkey has vowed to reveal all details about how Mr. Khashoggi was killed. Turkish investigators, however, say they have audio and video evidence which shows Mr. Khashoggi was killed by a team of Saudi agents inside the consulate. Police have been searching the consulate, the council's residence, as well as a nearby forest where officials believe his body may have been disposed of. The kingdom said the fight broke out between Mr. Khashoggi, who had fallen out in favor with the Saudi government, and people who met him in the consulate, ending with his days. It says investigations are underway, and so far 18 Saudi nationals have been arrested. In addition to the arrests, 2 senior officials have been sacked over the affairs. Deputy Intelligence Chief Ahmed Al-Asri and Saudi Al-Qahtani, senior aide to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The Saudi authorities have yet to give evidence to support this version of events. German Chancellor Angela Merkel called the explanation of Mr. Khashoggi's death inadequate, while French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said many questions remained unanswered. The UK Foreign Office described it as a terrible act and said the people behind the killing must be held to account. Both the European Union and the United Nations have called for a proper investigation. The BBC reported. As for the news, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. But up next comes the pick of the week. I'll be back with that. Don't go away, please.